Hi, I'm Patrick Barnard, Group Managing Editor for TMCnet, reporting live from IT Expo West in Los Angeles. And joining me is Grant Kirkwood, CTO of PacketExchange. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
Good, it's great to be here.
Good, welcome. Tell me a little bit about PacketExchange. I mean, you guys have sort of a unique niche in the industry, and I think it would be great if you could tell viewers a little bit more about what you guys do.
Sure. So PacketExchange is a global network service provider. We were founded in 2002. Our mission has been, since inception, to improve the performance of the internet. And we do that through a number of ways. We have an IP internet offering in which we optimize the routes that traffic takes across the public internet. Mm-hmm. And what we actually try to do is bypass the public internet and take data from source networks to destination networks as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that we do is we build what we call collaborative networks. So our original founding mission was to create a wide area peering exchange. And that's kind of evolved now. So what we operate are layer 2 Ethernet networks that span the globe. And on these networks, discrete parties can interconnect with each other in a transparent layer 2 fashion. Mm-hmm. And this is all done over Ethernet over MPLS. Mm-hmm. It's a global network. We touch about 65 POPs around the world, mm-hmm. Covering North America, Europe, and Asia.
Okay, great. So tell me a little bit about how that works. I mean, basically what you're talking about is a huge variety of different types of service level agreements, basically, that you're basically fashioning out with all these different carriers. And so tell me a little bit more about how the business model works and how you sort of set those all up and how they're all negotiated.
Sure. So our mission and focus is really to create one end-to-end comprehensive SLA for customers. So when we work with a lot of different carriers around the world, depending on the region and the specific route that we're talking about, the service that we offer for our customers constitutes a truly end-to-end SLA from the point at which traffic originates to the point at which it's terminated. Mm-hmm. And our business model is really to provide customers with the ability to have one consistent product rather than trying to piece individual circuits together with carriers that they might not be familiar working with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if I'm a carrier, would you necessarily seek me out to interconnect with me, or would it be the other way around? Would your company seek me out to be the one to connect with, and what determines that?
Well, that's a complicated question. And in fact, a lot of times we seek out and are seeked out by the same carriers.
Okay.
So in many cases, the carriers that we do business with from a customer standpoint, we're also a supplier to. So a Southeast Asian network, for example, might connect to us to get access into North America and Europe. Mm-hmm. And by the same token, we might connect to them to reach their customer base in their markets in Asia.
Okay. So it's a lot of this is obviously done on the wholesale level, right? So how do you find out about, for example, if somebody has the capacity to be able to carry certain type of traffic, how do you gain knowledge of who may have capacity and which ones are the best ones to seek out, to do business with?
Well, we have a team of people in London at our headquarters that spend most of their days talking with carriers around the world, trying to figure out what capacity exists, what capacity is being built, what routes are diverse mm-hmm. From routes that we currently have, right. And what technology partners can provide the best service for our customers. And a lot of that really centers around bundling services together mm-hmm. Into, again, one kind of comprehensive end-to-end service.
Right.
But we have a team of people that it's their job to build those relationships.
Right. I find the business model for this to be really fascinating because I realize, as you just said, it does get very complex. There's a lot of different things that have to come into play to be considered in order to meet customer needs and customer goals. Tell me about your customers. I mean, what types of verticals or industries are you playing heavily into, and what type of traffic are you carrying?
Sure. So we have customers that span the verticals from voice, IP carriers, enterprise groups. We have everything from video post-production to online gaming and entertainment, mm-hmm. Online video, so things like
high bandwidth stuff.
High bandwidth stuff, that's
yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah.
In terms of the amounts of traffic that we cover, our focus is really on 10 gigabit Ethernet.
Okay.
We've been a leader in that space since inception. And so, as a result, obviously, we've focused on very high bandwidth applications.
Right, sure. And what about IPv6? Are any of the carriers that you're working with, or is your current when you talk end-to-end, you got to talk about IPv6 these days.
Of course.
Obviously, you got to layer it in. How far along are you in terms of doing that?
So IPv6 is although it's been deployed for a good number of years now, we don't really see customers seeking it out yet.
Okay.
Typically, we see it as this is a check mark on a list of criteria for a service provider that customers want to work with. But it doesn't seem like V6 has really fully been adopted yet. That said, it is certainly a requirement to support V6 at this point.
Right.
And I think here probably in the next 2 years or so, we're actually going to start to see real traffic on the V6 backbone.
Okay. So does that mean that the networks that you have are currently carrying V6 right now, or has it not been layered in yet? I'm just curious to know.
Yeah, no, I mean our backbone and the backbones that we work with all support V6 at this point, to varying degrees.
Okay. And is the hindrance to adoption security?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think the hindrance to adoption for V6 is really deployed base. So until there's a moment in time at which services can't be supported on V4 anymore, there's not going to be a push.
An urgent push.
There's not going to be an urgency to move to V6, right? And through network address translation and things like this, it always tends to be, from an engineer's perspective, easier to put a Band-Aid in place to keep things kind of working the way they are, versus forklift the whole thing.
Right.
And I think that's going to continue for a good number of years.
Okay, great. And tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing at the show, IT Expo, and what you hope to get out of it.
Well, a good number of our customers here are here, and our partners. And what we're really looking for is to kind of expand the base of the companies that we work with.
Right.
In the U.S. and internationally.
Okay. All right, great. Good. Thanks very much for joining us. We've been talking to Grant Kirkwood, CTO of PacketExchange, coming to you live from IT Expo. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Is that good?